Hello, Akuchi here, with a short Dominion video on how to build an unconventional engine. So on the Dominion strategy forums, a user named Anodos posted this kingdom, and he was wondering how other people would choose to play it. So this kingdom is pretty unconventional. There is strong trashing, but the draw is pretty weak. The only draw cards are a +2 in Moat and Witch, and also the only way to play multiple terminal actions is through use of Throne Room, either by using Throne Room on one of the non-terminal actions like Market or Poacher or Sentry, or using it in combination Throne Room, playing a terminal action, something like that. There's also a neat little synergy here with Vassal, and well, trashing Vassal goes nicely with trashing in general, but there's additional synergy with Sentry, which will let you look ahead at the next cards. So until you've fully trashed, or before you've fully trashed, Sentry and Vassal helps you. Sentry helps you set up the Vassal plays. There's a lot of support here in Workshop for gaining a lot of these engine components. Workshop can gain throne rooms and vassals and moats, and the only cards you actually have to buy are the 5 cost cards, and Market. You don't actually need many of them. You can get by with just one of each, because Throne Room will let you play, 2 markets to get up to 3 buy. Although it's good to have more markets than that. And then, Throne Room can let you play 2 witches, which is going to be pretty brutal to the opponent if they don't have their engine together very nicely. Yeah, so let's go ahead. I tested this kingdom out a few times because I wasn't sure what I would like to do on the opening. Ultimately, I settled for opening with Chapel to trash down fast, and also opening with Workshop. I'm playing against Lord Raddington, the computer, just to simulate an opponent. So I thought at first that this was a little bit risky. Now, here my Workshop and Chapel didn't collide, which is nice. But ultimately, you're going to trash if your opening collides with your Chapel. So it's unfortunate when it happens, but it does. It's not a particular trouble spot with Workshop. I thought the issue with Workshop would be that it would be difficult to reach 5, and I thought reaching 5 was pretty important, but we can actually build up pretty easily here. I'm going to start by gaining either a Poacher or a Vassal to get a little extra economy. I'll start with 1 Poacher. I'll also get a Moat here, I guess, since I drew 2 cards. The Moat won't be immediately too helpful, but I don't think it'll get in the way too much. So Lord Raddington gets a Witch pretty early. So we're pretty clean already right now. So we're going to gain a Throne Room at this point because I have a Poacher. The Throne Room should be pretty good. I'm not sure if I want a second Moat quite yet. I'm not going to be able to play it. I think it'll just get in the way. So I got cursed. So I could trash down here, or I could use Throne Room on Workshop. I think at this point I'm thin enough that we're just going to gain more components and we can trash, we can clean up later. Gaining Throne Room and Vassal here. Want a little bit more economy. And then I can buy another Moat. Yeah, I think I can get behind that. So unfortunately we don't have a Throne Room in hand, which means our turn's not going to be too impressive. And we found a curse there. So this is pretty slow so far, but I think things will start to pick up. So the trick here, this looks, if you haven't played too much with Throne Room, this looks like a bad starting hand. But what we can do is we can use a Throne Room on a Throne Room, then play the Moat, and now we can play another action twice, which in this case we'll play Poacher, and now we have 2 actions remaining. So I want to play Chapel here because I have a lot of junk to trash. But I want to Throne Room the Workshop probably to keep gaining good stuff. I'll get another Vassal. We can get yet another Moat. But I think because we had that nice trash there, I don't think we need another Moat. We do still have some junk, so it's not safe to play the Vassal here. My opponent bought a Province, but that doesn't matter. I'm not concerned about that. This deck should explode pretty nicely. I think this is a pretty good time to Vassal. I have another Throne Room in there. Yep. And here we can Throne the Workshop. Always gaining Throne Rooms. Throne Rooms are the good card. I don't think I need another Vassal here. Well, it's the only thing that's actually going to be particularly good. So I can play the Throne Room, and now we can Throne the Vassal. And now I have far too many coins, so we need to get a market. And our deck should be very consistent at this point. I feel comfortable playing the Throned Vassal here. Play this one as a Poacher, I think. I want to make sure I get the plus buys, which is why I threw in the market there. I can play the Workshop twice, which is very nice. I actually don't need any more Throne Rooms this turn, so I'll probably gain 2 Vassals. Now I have a lot of coins to play with. I'll get a Witch of my own, and I'll get another market and a Throne Room. I don't think I need the Sentry. I take the Throne Room over like another market because I don't really need 3 markets. If I have 2 markets, I can get 5 buys with the Throne Room, which should be plenty. And the Throne Room is just a more flexible card. So we can start here with Throne Market. Throne Vassal is also an option. It should be reliable enough. Let's get a little more cursing going on here. Alright, so here we hit a Chapel, which is unfortunate. Okay, I'm now throning another card. It can be a little difficult to keep track of what's going on with the throne and the vassals. You just kind of have to trust. Well, I mean, play with it a bit, and then hopefully trust. So it looks like I have enough draw with the throne rooms, 2 moats, and a witch. So I don't really need to get another witch. Ideally, I'd like to thrown my witch at every opportunity to give my opponent more curses. Um, so we could start to go after provinces right now. But I think it pays off to build one more turn. And so what I'm going to do here is pick up a sentry for a little more reliability, another market, 2 throne rooms, and a vassal for just a little bit more payload. You always want to play vassal when you have at least 2 actions, like ideally, or off a throne room. So here I could throne. I think I'll do it. I can throne. I think I want to throne the moat here, just to get more cards in hand. So I don't get to throne the witch, unfortunately. Play an action twice. Let's go ahead and do... We're going to be able to draw the deck, I believe. But let's do that a little more reliably. Okay, I feel comfortable now, so I'll use the workshop. I don't necessarily want to empty the throne rooms. I do have a poacher. So I'll just go ahead and get a couple more vassals. Okay, so here we have a lot of coins. We didn't ultimately need the sentry, but it could have come in handy. So I'll go ahead and get some provinces with the plans to empty the provinces next turn. We're at turn 13. We can also hand out some more curses. I should be able to buy 4 provinces next turn. So, I mean, against an opponent who's mirroring with a nice strong deck, well, first of all, you wouldn't have quite as many of these throne rooms and such. But then you'd want to make sure you play around the number of provinces left. Four buys left. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and gain 3 of those and get a sentry and a witch for a little more draw and a little more reliability. So we can play the sentry here. So we're not going to throne the witch, it looks like. So I don't want to play the chapel. We can throne the moat for a little more draw. And we can go ahead and style here. And here we go. We've cleaned ourselves of all the curses. We've given our opponent a bunch of curses. We can actually end the game on piles here if we wanted to, which is something else to look out for. But we can also end the game on provinces. So there's an example run through the deck. Yeah, and so the engine, as you can see, comes together pretty strongly. It's got a lot of power. It's definitely possible that you can build a little more optimally. You could, if you look back, you see that there's a turn. The first time I hit more than 5, I hit 10, which is a little bit awkward. Um, it would have been nicer if I had managed to find a 5 a little earlier. I would have picked up a sentry probably, and then picked up a market, then a witch or something like that. The early moats were a little unusual. I played this board a few times, and I hadn't really found myself with those 2 coin opportunities to buy moat so often, but it did protect me from some witch attacks and gave me the draw there. So yeah, I encourage you, if you're interested, to try this board out. And you can also load this game ID here if you want the exact same kind of um, random start, and then you can play it out and see how you do. All right, thanks for watching.